Welcome back to a new video. Today, we're taking a trip to Iraq with our recipe, the famous Iraqi Tapsi. This dish is packed with flavors and spices, and it's a staple in almost every Iraqi household, especially in the summer. As always on my channel, I'll make it in a healthy way. No frying involved, so it's lighter on the stomach, but still just as delicious. Ready? Let's start making this dish step by step, in a fun and cheerful style. I'll start by peeling the eggplant. You can peel it however you like. Personally, I'll peel it in strips. Then, I'll slice it into medium thick rounds, not too thick and not too thin. Next, I'll season it with 5 grams of salt and rub it well. The goal here is to get the eggplant to release its water, which helps remove any bitterness and makes it easier to cook. After rubbing it thoroughly, I'll leave it to rest for at least 1 hour. Peel the potatoes and slice them into medium thick rounds as well. The key is to avoid cutting them too thick, so they don't stay undercooked, or too thin, so they don't burn. In a large pan over the stove, we'll start frying the potatoes. First, we'll test if the pan is properly heated. Watch for the movement of tiny water bubbles. Once they start moving, it's a sign the pan is ready. Using a brush, I'll lightly coat the pan with oil. And begin arranging the potato slices in a single layer. After placing them, I'll brush the top side of the slices with oil too. We want them to look and taste almost like traditionally fried potatoes. Don't worry about the amount of oil. We're using only 20 grams of olive oil in total. And this will be enough for frying both the eggplant and the potatoes. I'll get some kitchen towels, lay the eggplant slices on it, and press them like this to try to draw out the moisture before I start frying. Now they're ready to go. I'll start frying the eggplant in the same pan and using the same method. First, I'll check if the pan is hot, then coat the eggplant slices lightly with oil after patting them dry. Once the pan is ready, I'll begin frying them just like I did with the potatoes. I'll coat the eggplant. I've reduced the heat to medium and noticed it's starting to cook. This step is key. Now, what's left is to let it crisp up. I'll give it some time to develop that golden crust. Just to be sure, I might brush it with a little more oil. It's almost perfectly golden brown. It's fully cooked already, as you can see. What we're missing now is just that final crisp. I'll gently press the pieces toward the center of the pan to speed up the process. This method gives you eggplant that's much tastier than baking it in the oven. Baking takes at least 40 to 45 minutes, and the eggplant tends to dry out. Here, it's perfectly done in no more than 10 minutes. Look at this color. This is exactly what we're aiming for. I'll transfer it to a plate on the side and continue with the rest. Check out these crispy, golden potatoes and eggplants after frying them. Next up, grab your onion and slice it into medium rings. Grab a small Pyrex dish or a mini baking tray. Today, I'm using a super tiny one, cause it's basically for 2 people. But hey, feel free to load it up with as much onion as you want. The more layers, the better. Seriously. It's gonna bring some awesome flavor and make everything taste so much better. The recipe calls for 150 grams meat, but honestly, it's up to you. You can fry it with the onions if you want, or shape it into little meatballs. Personally, I'm all about making it into kofta. So I'll toss in 1 garlic clove, just to kick up the flavor a notch. Start layering the eggplant and potatoes in the dish. Once that's done, slice up some fresh tomatoes into rings. If the tomatoes are in season and the price is right, go ahead and throw in a bunch. No harm if you use more than one, it'll just make everything taste even better. But if you're working with one tomato, that's totally fine, just make sure it barely covers the top. And if you're feeling extra, stack up the layers, trust me, it'll be delicious. Now let's pop it in the oven. Preheat your oven to 250 Celsius and let it cook for about 15 minutes. The kofta is gonna release its juices, and the onions will soften up too. After that, pull it out, and you'll notice the tomatoes and onions might have shriveled a bit. That's totally normal and actually makes everything more flavorful. Now grab some tomato paste, dissolve it in hot water. At this point, I am gonna add salt, black pepper, and a gram of citric acid. But if you like a nice zesty kick, add more. By the way, if you're not into sour food, skip it. For me, 1 gram does the trick, just enough tang without going overboard. And pour it over everything. Now add a little bit of hot water to the mix. And back into the oven it goes. Let it bake for another 25 to 30 minutes, until everything's nice and cooked through. We've got this tapsi dish, and honestly, it's already looking amazing right in the baking dish. But if you want to get fancy, you can totally serve it up on a nice plate. I'll transfer it to a serving dish, and I'll give it a little upgrade with a sprinkle of fresh parsley. Now, tapsi is one of those dishes with a strong, mouth-watering aroma. The kind that fills the entire house and makes everyone instantly hungry. It's that good, and right now, it's filling the air with its magic. Alright, let's dive in and give this a taste. I'm gonna grab a slice of tomato, some potato, a bit of that caramelized onion, and of course, a piece of that tender meat. Now, honestly, it's kinda hard to get everything on one bite, so we'll go one step at a time. Wow, just wow. The balance of flavors is unreal. That tanginess, on point. I'm telling you, I could keep eating this forever. You've got to try it, it's gonna blow your mind. Enjoy, and a big bon appetit to you all. So, like we mentioned earlier, this recipe serves 2 people. The total calorie count, a solid 900 calories. Which means each person gets about 450 calories. That's a super reasonable amount, right? The rice, this is the classic, go-to portion, 100 grams. That's about 300 calories right there. So, if we add everything up, we're looking at a total of 750 calories. If you throw in a plate of fresh salad, that's only around 50 calories, bringing the grand total for the whole meal to 800 calories. Not too shabby for a complete, delicious, and balanced meal. Here's the thing, any dish that combines veggies and meat is always a winner when it comes to being a healthy. Because it gives you the perfect balance of everything your body loves: proteins, vitamins, and minerals. We're talking about boosting your immune system, improving your digestion, and even giving your heart health a big thumbs up. The magic of combining both meat and veggies makes your meal a true powerhouse. If you're vibing with this content, don't forget to smash that like button, share it with your squad, and hit that subscribe. Oh, and make sure to ring the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our tasty, healthy recipes. Drop a comment below. Your feedback helps us make things even better. And hey, if you've got any questions, I'm always here to help. Don't be shy.